Christianity in blue jeans, the letter of James, starting in chapter 3, verse 13. James in chapter 1 talked about that if we're going through rough stuff and we need wisdom, just ask God. He will generously give us wisdom that we can apply to our living to help us to be the Christian we need to be in this world. And now he's going to talk more about how that wisdom looks as it comes from God. Verse 13. If you are wise and understand God's ways, prove it by living an honorable life, doing good works with the humility that comes from wisdom. True wisdom comes from God. What wisdom is the application of knowledge into practical living. So make sure you prove that you are wise by doing good. But if you are bitterly jealous and there is selfish ambition in your heart, don't cover up the truth by boasting and lying. For jealousy and selfishness are not God's kind of wisdom. God's kind of wisdom is sacrificial living. God's kind of living is that we are others-centered rather than self-centered. Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. Heavy words there about the world's wisdom. Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, wherever selfishness rules, wherever we are self-centered, there you will find disorder and evil of every kind. We must live the Jesus kind of life in our very real world, which means being people that want to help others and not always look after our own affairs as putting them at the top of the list. Sometimes we have to be self-sacrificing. We have to do self-denial so that others might be blessed. But the wisdom from above, the wisdom from God, is first of all pure. In chapter 1, verse 5, he talks about this wisdom from a generous God. But the wisdom from above is first of all pure. It is also peace-loving, gentle at all times, and willing to yield to others. You see, it's not all about what I want, but how I can help others be their better selves. It is full of mercy and good deeds. This is what God's wisdom is like. Pure, peace-loving, gentle, willing to yield to others, merciful. Good deeds are being done by that kind of person. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. You see, the fruit of God's kind of wisdom in your life is good deeds, helping others in need. And those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of righteousness. Where do we need peace? First of all, we need peace of mind. And only God can give us that kind of peace of mind when we choose not to worry, but rather to pray. But also we need peace with one another, don't we? Peace in our politics, peace in our churches, peace in the nations that exist in our world. But that kind of peace only comes from God. That kind of peace only dwells in people that have the wisdom of God within their hearts and their lives. We ought to be people with the wisdom of God, living out Christianity in blue jeans in a very real world with real faith, doing good deeds. Well, may God bless you and may God keep you. Thank you for listening today.